Good morning everyone. In the last video we have discussed about the chemical reactions and the physical process. We also discussed the chemical equation. We have discussed how to balance the chemical reaction and what is the need of the balancing of any chemical reaction. Now we are going to see the type of chemical reaction and in which we are going to see the first one, that is the addition reaction. Before that we want to know that how many type of the chemical reactions are. अगर हम chemical reactions को अलग अलग बेसिस पे देखें तो अलग अलग बेसिस पे हम क्लासीफाई कर सकते हैं. तो हम देख रहे हैं ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ रिएक्टेंट एंड प्रोडक्ट. On the basis of reactant and product, the chemical reactions have three clear categories. The first category, the first type of the chemical reaction is the addition reaction, where the addition of the reactant is taking place. Second type of reaction is called the decomposition reaction, where the reactant decomposed to form the product. The third one is called the displacement reaction, when one substance is displaced from one position to another position. And now we are going to discuss these of the reactions in detail. Then we are starting with the first one, that is called the addition reaction. What is the addition reaction? I have already told you. जब दो या दो से ज्यादा स्पीशीज एक दूसरे से कंबाइन होकर एक प्रोडक्ट का फॉर्मेशन करते हैं, दैट इज कॉल्ड द एडिशन रिएक्शन. सो हियर यू कैन सी A plus B plus C. These are the three substances are combining with each other to give a single product, that is the D. You can easily see that they are combining to form a single product, and such type of reactions are called the combination reaction or the addition reaction. अब यहाँ पे ये हम कॉम्बिनेशन या एडिशन रिएक्शन की जब बात करते हैं, ये तो एक डमी रिएक्शन है, कोई ओरिजिनल रिएक्शन नहीं है. क्या रियल में कोई ऐसा रिएक्शन है? श्योरली होगा, तभी तो हम इसकी बात कर रहे हैं. सो व्हाट आर द रियल एग्जांपल्स? द बेस्ट एग्जांपल एंड इजियर मोस्ट एग्जांपल, व्हेन कार्बन इज ट्रीटेड विद ऑक्सीजन, the reaction is well known to you. When coal is oxidized, when coal's combustion takes place, the product is carbon dioxide, a gas. And in this reaction you can see carbon is combining with the oxygen to give the carbon dioxide, a simple addition reaction. So here is a example of the addition reaction. Or you can see here is a reaction P4. This is called the phosphorus. This is one of the allotrope of phosphorus, that is called the white phosphorus. Phosphorus के कई सारे allotropes होते हैं, white, red, black. तो उनमें से एक allotrope हमने लिया है, that is the white phosphorus. Then when P4 is treated with chlorine, 10Cl2, it gives 4PCl5. You can see that the phosphorus and chlorine are combining with each other to give the combined product. Then such type of reactions where reactants are combined with each other to give the product, where the addition of the reactants takes place with each other to give the product, is called the combination reaction, is called the addition reaction. So this is the first type of reaction, that is called the combination reaction. The second type of reaction is the decomposition reaction. That means reactant decomposes to form the product. एक reactant टूट के एक से ज़्यादा, दो या दो से ज़्यादा product का अगर formation करता है, that is called the decomposition reaction. So here we are going to discuss about the decomposition reaction. So what is the decomposition reaction? Here we can say that if a compound AB breaks in the form of A and B, you can see one compound breaks in the form of two different components. We can write in this way, showing a single compound. When a compound breaks into their component, then such type of reactions are called the decomposition reactions. If you want to take some example, so here is a simple example, calcium hydroxide, a well-known compound to each of us, that is the calcium hydroxide or the slacked lime. When it is heated, it gives CaO plus H2O. Here you can see the single compound breaks into two different compounds, and the process is called decomposition. when you will see the decomposition, whether there are single way of the decomposition, if there is a single type of the decomposition reaction कि और भी तरह के decomposition reaction होते हैं, then decomposition reactions can be classified on the basis of their source by which they are going to be decomposed. Then first type of decomposition reaction is the thermal decomposition. Therm means heat and thermal decomposition means when the decomposition is taking place due to the therm, due to the heat. अगर हीट की वजह से बॉन्ड ब्रेकिंग हो रही है, दैट इज कॉल्ड द थर्मल डिकम्पोजिशन. देन फर्स्ट टाइप ऑफ डिकम्पोजिशन इज द थर्मल डिकम्पोजिशन एंड द बेस्ट एग्जांपल इज ऑलरेडी गिवन हियर. So according to this, this is going to break in the form of the calcium oxide and water. Calcium hydroxide is going to break in the calcium oxide and water, and the process is called the thermal decomposition, as the decomposition is taking place due to the therm. The second one, that is called the electrolytic decomposition. You have already studied this one also. In the lower classes we have studied when water molecule is electrolyte, electricity is passed through water in addition of small amount of the electrolyte. electrolyte का बस इतना ही काम होता है कि वाटर के कंडक्शन को बढ़ा दे. वाटर बहुत अच्छा कंडक्टर नहीं होता, दैट इज अ वेरी पुअर कंडक्टर, तो उसकी कंडक्शन को बढ़ाने के लिए उसमें थोड़ा सा इलेक्ट्रोलाइट मिला के उसमें इलेक्ट्रिसिटी अगर पास कर दें, देन व्हाट हैपेंस, इट ब्रेक्स इन द फॉर्म ऑफ H2 and O2. So here you can say that the decomposition is taking place but due to the electricity, then it is called the electrolytic decomposition. So whatever the source for the decomposition is there, according to that the name will be there. And the last one, that is called the photo decomposition. Photo means light. If the decomposition is taking place due to the light, that is called the photo decomposition. You can see here that PCl5 in presence of light breaks in the form of PCl3 and Cl2. And again you can see that the decomposition reaction is there, but at this time it is due to the light. The light is completing the reaction, so the decomposition is called the photo decomposition reaction. So in the decomposition reaction, on the basis of the source by which we are going to decompose the reactant, we can classify the decomposition reaction into three different classes. That is the thermal decomposition, where the decomposition is taking place due to the therm. Reaction is calcium hydroxide breaks in the form of calcium oxide and water. That means a thermally unstable species is breaking into thermally stable species, calcium oxide and water. The next one is electrolytic decomposition, where the decomposition is again taking place but not due to the heat. This time it is due to the electricity, that is called electrical decomposition. Here water on electrolysis giving hydrogen and oxygen. And last one is photo decomposition, where the decomposition is taking place due to the photo means light, due to the light. Here the light means highly energetic lights like UV and IR. The light can also be represented in the form of H nu, where H is suggesting the Planck's constant and nu is suggesting the frequency. तो यहाँ पे H nu के टर्म में भी हम लाइट को H nu से भी रिप्रेजेंट करते हैं. So these were the two different type of the reactions. Now we are going to see the third one. You knew the word meaning of the displacement. That means a system is displaced from one position to another position. You have seen such condition in your daily life in other things. For example, in the football, एक प्लेयर थोड़ी देर के बाद किसी वजह से चोट लग गई या फिर वो थक गया है, तो उसको किसी और प्लेस से डिस्प्लेस कर देते हैं, which is also known as substitution. Then this is the displacement reaction, where one group is displaced by the another group, or one group changes their position, they displace from one position to another position. For example, if this one, that is the copper sulfate, is treated with zinc, it gives copper and zinc sulfate. Of displacement reaction, here you can see the sulfate which was on the copper is displaced and now it is on the zinc. जो कॉपर पे सल्फेट था वो कॉपर से निकल के जिंक पे चला गया है, दैट इज कॉल्ड द डिस्प्लेसमेंट रिएक्शन. Displacement reaction itself have the different classes. In the book it is written that there are two type of displacement reaction. In the case of metal displacement reaction, and in the case of non-metal, that is the non-metal displacement reaction. I don't think we need to teach this topic that this is the metal, so it is called the metal displacement, this is non-metal, so it is called the non-metal displacement. The another class of the displacement reaction is the single displacement and double displacement reaction. So we are seeing first the single displacement reaction. The best example of the single displacement reaction is given above. Here you can see there is a displacement. The sulfate is displaced from one position to another position, and there is only one displacement, that is the displacement of the sulfate. कोई और displacement यहाँ पे नहीं हो रहा है. That is called the single displacement reaction. Some other examples you can see in the class 9. You have seen an experiment. Zinc was treated with sulfuric acid H2SO4. What happened? It gives zinc sulfate plus hydrogen. You can see the sulfate which was on the hydrogen is now on the zinc. The displacement takes place, and how many displacement takes place? Just a single displacement, and this is the reason it is called a single displacement reaction. In the class 10th you will see some of the other reactions, which is zinc when treated with HCl, it gives ZnCl2 and hydrogen. And again it is a single displacement reaction, almost similar type of reaction. A metal react with acid to give salt and hydrogen. अगर आपको याद नहीं है तो आपने लास्ट ईयर देखा था, आपके टीचर ने टेस्ट ट्यूब के ऊपर जो गैस निकल रही थी उस पर जब मैच स्टिक लगाए थे तो एक खास तरह की साउंड निकलती थी जिसे हम कहते थे पॉप साउंड. द एक्सपेरिमेंट इज द पॉप साउंड एक्सपेरिमेंट, यू कैन से. देन दिस इज द एक्सपेरिमेंट इन विच द हाइड्रोजन गैस वाज फॉर्म्ड. So this is the single displacement reaction where one of the group is displaced from one position to another position and no any other displacement is going to take place, and this is called the single displacement reaction. You can note it down. Now we are going to see the double displacement reaction. We have seen the single displacement reaction, there only one substance was undergoing the displacement. See here the reaction. This is the NaOH, a well-known base which reacts with acid. And what is the product? It is called NaCl, a salt, plus what? Or neutralization reaction. Acid is neutralized by the base, that is also called the neutralization reaction. See here, in this case, the hydroxyl group is displaced by the chlorine. That means sodium is containing hydroxyl group here, and now it's the chlorine. That means the hydroxyl group is displaced by the chlorine, and in the case of HCl, the chlorine is displaced by the hydroxyl group. H2O means HOH. That means it was HCl which turns in the form of HOH. So chlorine is displaced by the hydroxyl group. So in this case, you can see that one of the species is displaced by the another one, and that is called the displacement reaction. Here the displacements are at two different positions, that is called the double displacement reaction. For example, any of the acid base reaction, any of the neutralization reaction will be a double displacement reaction. जितने भी acid base reaction है, जितने भी arrhenius acid और arrhenius base आपस में react करते हैं, सब के सब double displacement reaction ही देते हैं. So that is the best example of the double displacement reaction. So these were the different type of the reactions. Now the other class of the reaction on the basis of the heat. On the basis of the heat, there are two type of reaction. The first type of reaction is called exothermic, and the second type of reaction is called endothermic. The exothermic emits heat and this one consume heat. That means in the exothermic reaction the heat comes out, and in the endothermic reaction the heat is consumed by the process. When you will see some of the examples in your daily life, whatever taking place, आपके घर में गैस बर्नर जलता है, गैस बर्नर में होता क्या है, आइसोब्यूटेन मेनली होता है, आइसोब्यूटेन का ऑक्सीजन के साथ रिएक्शन होता है और फ्लेम आती है, हीट बाहर आती है, दैट इज एक्सोथर्मिक रिएक्शन। उसके अलावा कुछ लैब में आपने रिएक्शन किए हैं, व्हेन जिंक वाज ट्रीटेड विद HCl, जिंक को HCl के साथ ट्रीट करेंगे, इफ यू हैव ऑब्जर्व्ड योर टेस्ट ट्यूब बिकम्स वार्म, अगर आपने ध्यान दिया था तो जिंक को HCl में डाला था, H2SO4 में डाला था, तो वो टेस्ट ट्यूब जो था वो गर्म हो गया था। द नेक्स्ट रिएक्शन वाज द कॉपर सल्फेट रिएक्टिंग विद द आयरन, आपने देखा था गैल्वेनाइजेशन रिएक्शन लास्ट टाइम किया था क्लास 9th में, वहां पर भी अगर आपने टेस्ट ट्यूब को छुआ होगा तो वो गर्म हो जाता है। इवन वॉशिंग पाउडर घरों पे, नॉट डिटर्जेंट, वॉशिंग पाउडर कह सकते हो कि सस्ते वाले जो वॉशिंग पाउडर्स आते हैं, घड़ी, विदिशा, ऐसे कोई भी नाम से, उनमें अगर पानी डालिए, हाथ पे रख के, पाम पे रख के उसमें 2-4 बूंद पानी डालिए, दैट बिकम्स वार्म, देन दैट इज आल्सो एक्सोथर्मिक रिएक्शन। सो द रिएक्शन इन विच द हीट इज इवॉल्व्ड, ऐसा कोई रिएक्शन जिसमें हीट बाहर निकलती है, दैट इज कॉल्ड द एक्सोथर्मिक रिएक्शन, एंड द रिएक्शन इन विच द हीट इज कंज्यूम्ड, दैट इज कॉल्ड द एंडोथर्मिक रिएक्शन। वैसे एंडोथर्मिक रिएक्शन डेली लाइफ में बहुत ज्यादा देखने को मिलते नहीं है, बहुत थोड़े से रिएक्शन है। फॉर एग्जाम्पल, when glucose is treated with water, sucrose is treated with water, it undergo hydrolysis, that is the endothermic reaction। आपको अगर आपके डेली लाइफ का एक एग्जांपल लेके एक्सप्लेन करने की कोशिश करें, ग्लूकोज बच्चों को बहुत पसंद आता है क्योंकि उसका जो स्वीटनेस होता है वो बहुत हल्का होता है, बहुत ज़्यादा स्वीट होता नहीं है, तो बच्चे क्या करते हैं, चुपके से एक आध चम्मच उसे खा लेते हैं। खाने के बाद मुंह के अंदर क्या लगता है, गर्म या ठंडा? श्योरली इट्स कोल्ड। ठंडा क्यों होता है? क्योंकि रिएक्शन एक एंडोथर्मिक रिएक्शन है, दैट मीन द हाइड्रोलिसिस ऑफ ग्लूकोज इज अ एंडोथर्मिक रिएक्शन। सिमिलरली द हाइड्रोलिसिस ऑफ सुक्रोज इज आल्सो अ एंडोथर्मिक रिएक्शन। आपने देख रखा है, चीनी को भी मुंह के अंदर डालिए तो वो भी ठंडा होता है, स्पेशली अगर उसके दाने ज्यादा छोटे हो तो, क्योंकि बड़े दाने ज्यादा आसानी से डिजॉल्व नहीं होते, मुंह के अंदर जो भी लिक्विड पार्टिकल्स हैं उनके साथ ज़्यादा आसानी से डिजॉल्व नहीं होते, ज़्यादा आसानी से रिएक्शन नहीं करते, तो वहाँ पर उतना नहीं पता चलता। लेकिन अगर बिल्कुल महीन चीनी ले रखे हैं तो वहाँ पे आपको पता चल जाता है कि द एनर्जी इज कंज्यूम्ड ड्यूरिंग द प्रोसेस, द रिएक्शन इज एंडोथर्मिक। देन दिस इज द एक्सोथर्मिक एंड एंडोथर्मिक रिएक्शन। द रिएक्शन इन विच द हीट इज इवॉल्व, दैट इज कॉल्ड द एक्सोथर्मिक, एंड द रिएक्शन इन विच द हीट इज कंज्यूम्ड, दैट इज कॉल्ड द एंडोथर्मिक रिएक्शन। In the next video, we will study about the neutralization reaction, redox and its application. Till then, bye. Have a nice day. Thank you.